these are just renowned up and down. I think the dual mats are some of their newer product lines. So I wanted to get a hold of the newest stuff because it's probably what you're going to be buying. I believe the dual mat implies that the back is not shiny and that the front is not shiny. I think the dual portion of this implies that there's like a black backing to some of the dragon shields, because in previous iterations, some of the original dragon shields, they weren't opaque enough for tournament play. So let's go ahead and see if I got the right one here. These from a local store, about $11. I don't know how much they're really supposed to be. Again, we're going to compare the price that I paid versus what you can get on the website. That said, just being real, this is not an American product as far as I can tell. Let's, yeah, Denmark. The deck box is more what we're going to talk about there, but these might be... There might be something going on soon. So I love this minimalistic cardboard packaging. There's no extra plastic past the first wrapper. I love this, right? Has a little writer on here in case this is your first deck box experience or your first sleeving experience. And if you're a new player, that's just awesome. We all used to do it. We all used to rubber band our cards. Like, everybody takes a step. This is just a thoughtful addition. Just giving you somewhere to write, like, what deck is in here. That's pretty great. I don't think it would, fit a sleeve deck, but maybe. The Anima Draconi, a primordial collective of dragon souls that exist outside of time and space, in the void between all realms and universes. They are charged with a single purpose: to safeguard the integrity of all realms. Anima Gladius, the Bladed Executioner, a dragon made entirely of blades as it appears on the sky above the condemned. A hailstorm of indestructible blades immediately starts showering the ground below it. They fly from its wings with every flap. The magical blades annihilate all they touch. Even atoms are halved as existence is shredded. It obeys as the endless truth commands it. I like that they give these little stories to their art pieces. Justice is in fact just a bladed dragon, which I don't know if you call that a dragon more than a machine, but it's still cool. These are the actual sleeves. These feel pretty good, actually. Okay. These are a matte silver, not too rough of a back. I think I'm going to get problems with it focusing again, but you can kind of see the texture a little better from this. And there's that matte sheen you can definitely see from my lighting right there, right? And on the front, oh, actually, those are glossy. So I thought it was matte like on the BCWs, how this was kind of cloudy. These are pretty glossy. And those pop way easier than the BCW mattes did. I'm going to give them another shot in the future, and I'm going to make my list a living list, but for now, these are how they're supposed to open. Now, kind of crimped already. I was really mean right there. I know you can see I'm like wrenching it way farther than you have to, but we're already getting some crimping. Okay. That's not my favorite, man. That's not my favorite. Let's just do some, like, if I were to sleeve a card, just barely opening it. And there is a small one right there. I don't think any sleeve, as I get into this, is going to be as good as some of the other... Well, that one's actually pretty rock solid. I think as we get further into this, we're going to realize that maybe the crimping isn't super avoidable unless you're, like, being very gentle. Just see that slight motion right there? Just getting them in there. And maybe you do need to do that. Maybe you need to be a little more careful with your sleeves. Maybe I'm just a little bit too rough. Now, I'm going to try it one more time on another sleeve. These feel really good. Just opening it the way I open it. A small crimp appeared. Oh, I don't know. 1 second. All right. We brought Viserai out from his crypt, and I just want to check something out. These are actually sleeved in black dragon shields. And I have sleeved and unsleeved multiple cards out of Viserai, and I just want to check something. These are not the dual mats, I believe. But as you can see here, and I have sleeved and unsleeved this deck multiple times. Viserai, like I said, I started with Dorinthia, went to Viserai, then Levia. Every set, I've been getting a new hero. This is one of the older decks. You can kind of see on this one. No, not really. Like, this is one of the older, and like, just to prove, like, there's newer cards in here, not new, but like Runic, like, And look, it's all in order because I had to sleeve it up again. I think some of the newest sleeves are getting a little thin. Let me check another one. We're gonna bust new out real quick. Slightly newer. And these are the Dragon Shield double mats. These are. Kind of harder to see the crimping on these if there is any, but I'm not seeing any. These were bought a year or so ago when new was new. And these are, as you can tell, she got a lot of play. There's some scuffing on the front. I did change a lot of cards out for this deck. A lot. As I was experimenting and playing, and I'm not really trying to get the light on them so you can see, but there's no crimping. There's something going on with the sleeve industry, I think, man. Some of these newer sleeves are just, I don't know if they're gonna make it to. So here we are again. That was just, I just had to get some comparisons in there because, man, some of these newer sleeves really are just crimping up, and these even feel lighter than those sleeves, you know? I'm gonna say right now the cut looks immaculate. You can probably see that right there. The cut looks incredible, very consistent. This is the best cut so far, I believe. Very smooth feeling, so you're probably gonna get that slick stuff from the first bit. Let's go ahead and get the first bit underway, and we're just gonna sleeve these in double sleeved cards and see what that's like. That's exactly right. That's what they should go in like. Let's get some in here and see how crimped we get. But because these are so much easier to double sleeve, I am in fact gonna get through the 100 of them. Okay, that's all this double sleeved up. I'm gonna do a quick thing real quick because that felt like a lot of cards. God damn, and they are slick. As you can tell by the sped up footage, I had to manage these a bunch. So you're going to be in that Clown Fiesta portion of the game for a bit. So I just counted that because I kind of suspected that was a little more than 100, and it does turn out that we have 50, 50, 104 total sleeves here. That's really nice of Dragon Shield to give you a few extras in case a few split like that. I don't know that they do that with every pack, but I remember that kind of being a thing from when I was first buying Dragon Shield, and that seems to still be the case now. So I'm going to give them a little kudos there, a little extra bang for your buck. So let's go ahead and get... Okay, that's it. Can you call cards marked if half of them are marked? Let's just do a quick count here. This bottom pile right here is like passably almost not marked, but my eye still caught something on them. That one might not be. I was a bit harsh on those ones, but these for sure. $28. Over a quarter of them have a notable crimp in them. I couldn't double sleeve the heavy plays, so I couldn't see if it was this bad. I could double sleeve the BCWs. Or I couldn't really double sleeve the BCW, so I couldn't quite see if it was this bad. Because I couldn't double sleeve them. They were impossible to get in there, so they just failed to double sleeve anyway. This is... And I just compared to other decks. All of those decks are double sleeved. All of those decks have been multiple times had cards taken in and out of them. I gotta say the durability on these is pretty bad. Pretty bad. These are single sleeve. I got my equipment in. Let's just continue. That's just all there is to it. Unless you're gentle as a lamb and want to take an hour and a half to double sleeve your cards, you're going to end up with these little pinch marks on your sleeves. And it's up to judges to determine whether or not that's acceptable or not. And if I'd say it's probably common enough that I would recognize that it's not just like a flat out mark, but man, that's some rough pumpkins, as they say. Let's just do the other tests. These are actually some of the BCWs I used in Max Nitro. And I've unsleeved and sleeved him up multiple times. No crimping on these BCW Elite Deck 2s. These are the gloss ones, so I'm actually, if you guys wouldn't mind, I would like to use these as there's a crimp. There's another one. But it's not 28 of them. What I have to do is... No, these are looking pretty great. There was another one that's 3. Yeah. So, we could use these for data, but I want to buy some. Because that means I'm getting the new lot, or at least something newer. Because these are like a year or two. Whenever Max Nitro, 2 years old now. This is 100 double sleeve Dragon Sleeve cards. And it does fit them, so that means I had a little error in the sleeves there. Let's go ahead and try that one more time. We're going to let the error try to push it out a little more. 69, nice.
Nice.
0.73 millimeters. And that fits 100. Now we know the BCW one does, in fact, fit 100 double-sleeved Dragon Shield cards. That's still pretty big. These are about 70 millimeters tall. That is pretty tall for some double-sleeved cards. They are pushing around pretty easily. They are going to give you the Clown Fiesta. Let's do a shuffle test. Oh, those are... That feels incredibly smooth. That's like the smoothest shuffle so far.
Ooh.
There was a catch. I hope the mic picked it up. There was a catch. There's another one. It's this guy right here. You can kind of see that imperfection right there. So while the first pack was very smooth, this one does have one that's catching it. I can visibly see it. That's why they give you the extra. Oh man, look at that. You can pick that sleeve out immediately. That's why they give you free extra. I'm going to say the durability on the Dragon Shields might be going down a bit with these dual mats. Out of the box, shuffle feels a little middling because they are... The first felt good, the last felt good, but there was a middle pack that just started catching left and right. So the cut looks really good, but it looks like there's something in the end process that causes catching with the Dragon Shield double mats. Okay. That's all we really need out of that. Let's go ahead and unsleeve these and get you some dimensions and things. Now with those unsleeved, I want to do a quick check to see if they survived a round of unsleeving. Mostly looking at the top section here for any warping. All right, and it looks like they've sustained a little bit of damage from the unsleeving process as well. Now, regardless of whether or not I got the double sleeves in those BCWs, I don't even have them. I already gave them away. They did not sustain damage from the unsleeving process, and I did this. I don't know if I kept it in the video or not, but I do this process both times, and maybe I should be better about that for you guys. But you can see that top crimp now. That's an additional 6 casualties. Oh god, and you can just immediately pick out that one that was catching. I gotta say, I'm not really impressed with Dragon Shield's durability right here. I added a few things. We're gonna see how much this weighs. I only want to test 100 sleeves to make sure that that's like a metric. 100 Dragon Shield seems to weigh 129 grams. And we'll go ahead and get that caliper out and check the measurements on a few of these sleeves compared to their claims online. So, let's get that zeroed out. on, zeroed, and let's pull. Right there. So it's flat and against it. We're just going to slowly press this in to about 65.93 millimeters wide. Wow. It looks to be about 90.99 or 91 millimeters tall. And we're just going to do this until I can't slide this anymore, okay? 0.25 millimeters thick until I couldn't easily slide it in and out anymore, okay? I'm going to do some internal measurements to see if there's like any problem with those BCWs in the future. I don't know if this is going to be a metric that I keep long term, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Okay. 64.36 interior from my calipers. I'm trying to only use the tip so there's no tension caused. Just the tip and only the tip. Okay. Last couple things we're going to do is I have one of my studio lights here. We are just going to turn this thing all the way. Oh, 48's good. Tap. And we're just going to turn this thing all the way down. And we're going to see if we can ever see through this. We're at 84% right now. At least it's opaque. Okay. You can feel confident you are not going to see through that. Because that is pretty bright. That is pretty bright. I just want to do that quick test with the others. Here we have the BCW Elite Deck 2s. These are Elite Guard 2s. We're going to turn this on and all the way off. Okay. Oh. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up all right, but you might be able to see some green. I can see light through there. At 67% light. I wonder if this camera will pick it up slightly better. Oh, it does. Oh, it really does. You can see that green through there. Whereas opposed to the Dragon Shields. They're just black. Okay, we learned something about these. I don't know how I'm going to measure this, but this light's at 67%. I'll make note of that, and maybe I'll put that somewhere. That at pretty... It's opaque, but not not completely light-proof, I guess. I don't think you're going to see... I need to find a sleeve that you can see the card back through and see what the light comes through at. That's interesting. That's interesting. So we're going to take a last look at this box. This is the Justice style of 100 matte dual sleeves. They say they fit 63 by 88 standard size cards, and based on the fact that we measured an interior a little higher than that, I would agree. Says there's a count of 100. Says it's fully opaque. I agree with that. We're going to put that to the test. Their durability is not super great. Their opacity is super good. Their shuffle feel is okay with some catching. They are double sleevable, and their price is okay. I just got to give these a straight middle of the road 2 out of 3. And as much as it hurts to do, man, where's your crown, Dragon Shield? These sleeves are a 3 out of 5 for the general public. They that crimping is just not great, and you're a little pricier than I think you should be if that's going to be that problematic. We're going to put these in here and give those away to somebody who wants them. If you're in the Discord and you need some sleeves, just hit me up. You know I've got extras. Next up on the docket is the Nest 100 Plus by Dragon Shield. There is a reason I'm reviewing this deck box and not the others, and that's what we have to discuss right now. Current political things happening in America have caused some imports to hurt really bad. I don't know. I can't prove that this is one of them, but let's just take a quick look at something. So this is the product that I wanted to test, the Nest 100. It says it's out of stock left and right, and I've reached out to Dragon Shield, and multiple sources have told me that these are still in production. I don't know why it appears that way to me, but I want to check something out real quick. That's interesting. So now multiple sources have told me that they're still producing these things. These are available in the United States. They don't look to be available in the UK. And the product that I wanted to test, which are these Nest 100s, not the Nest Plus 100s, seem to be out of stock in both Europe and America. Now, they can be bought still, but here's the problem. Okay, like I said, I bought this for $27, $27.44, and I did purchase this. It did arrive in 2 days. $29.29. These are all totally available, it looks like, in America. Okay, weird. When I looked at this the day that I purchased this, which you can see was October 14th, the day before I'm filming, okay? When I looked at this product, all of them were this $48.99 price. Every one of them. But it looks like there's one at $29.95. And is that even what they're supposed to be going for? Let's just go back to the United States one real quick. And they're supposed to be going for $22.99. So they're a little inflated for this $29.95 one. This plus the $15 delivery, right? This is more of what I was seeing left and right. So I don't even know if by the end of this review, you will even be able to get a hold of these. Dragon Shield, you might just be missing out on this, or maybe they're done with deck boxes. Multiple sources tell me that they're still producing these deck boxes, but either they just can't keep up with demand, or I don't quite know what. So just keep all of that in mind as we go into this review. So if you really like this product and you see one for an okay price, just pick it up. Okay? That's not a FOMO thing. That's a, if this is the product for you and you want it, you got to get it. Okay? So let's go ahead and get the overhead, get this opened up. I'm going to try not to damage the product as best I can. We'll just do this right here. There you go. Pretty thin plastic, totally fine. I love that Dragon Shield has this pretty minimal packaging. Love, love, love it. It's both good for them and the environment. All that. No extra crazy plastic in there for rigidity. You don't need it. It's already weird enough. Let's take a look at some of the claims here. Let's take a look at some of the claims here. Grab by the circles and pull open. Reassemble any way you like. For example, like this. 2-piece combination deck box with a dice tray. Strong magnetic seal. Fits more than 100 standard-sized double sleeve cards. Durable black exterior with fabric lining. Pretty pissed off I just unsleeved those cards before I did this. I shouldn't have done that. That's a note for the future. Satyrion Ascendant. What do you know of the Nest? Satyrion gripped Zalnoon's throat with a claw made of shadow. The elder beaded hair jangled as he grasped for breath. Behind Satyrion, Zalnoon saw his people dying. Blood ran down Radnion's sides. The continent dragon, whose neck they lived on, had nourished them, given them life, yet he could do nothing in the face of this death. For all of its might, a single man atop him was too small to fight. Damn you, Zalnoon whispered. Smoke plumed from the burning village behind him as Satyrion pulled Zal's wife's soul from the air. She materialized weeping. I don't know where the hell... like this. It's cool, right? It's cool. Arcane Tinman, you're cool, but Jesus, that's so extra. We're going to put that box back there. We're just going to take a look at this real quick. So, let's get some measurements out of the way real quick. The Dragon Shield Nest Plus 100 weighs 244 grams. That's really light. Yeah, that's pretty light. I guess this is maybe a denser product, but 171 for the BCW Spectrum Prism. That's just what I have on hand right now. Yeah, 244. That's a pretty light product, so this will fit in many bags pretty comfortably. Let's go ahead and make sure the dimensions match what they say on their website. That will be compared later. So we're gonna, at first, close the calipers, zero it. We're gonna do it like that, because that way we get the shell. And we're just going to slowly roll that in until we get resistance. 89.62 millimeters wide, height. Appears to be 144 millimeters, 0.28. And then there's depth. Appears to be 83.56 millimeters. Okay. So let's, as it says, pull. That was a pretty good seal. That was a pretty good seal. I'm not going to complain about that. Comes with a little desiccant. I love these because for my little storages back there, every time I get one of these, I just throw it into one that doesn't have one. Cycle, reuse, reduce. That's what I like to do. Now, I wish I had something to measure the gram strength it takes to pull. But finger strength alone wasn't, I don't think, enough. Let's try that one more time. Okay, just finger strength. Barely good enough. I may have cheated a little bit at the end there. Nice interior. You can tell this is made of cardboard. Fairly rigid. I think it'll hold up decently well. You can hear a little creaking, but that's totally fine because I'm not being super nice right now. Comes with a little dice tray, little optional guy to use some dice and life counters, armor tokens, all that kind of stuff can be stored in there. Looks pretty decent in here. That's something to note. It's kind of awkward to put together if you're not really paying attention. So the width is greater than the depth by about 6 millimeters, which implies that the interior is about the same measurement different because the walls appear to be pretty consistent. .8. 4.5. 4.77, 4.8. Am I pressing into that? Oh no, that's just way thinner. 4.2. 4.3. 4.3. Okay. So the depth is a little bit shallower than the width, I guess. I suppose you could always put them in sideways so they could fit no matter what. I'm just going to say that the measurements are there. The measurements are there to fit 100 plus cards. So what we're going to do now is I know this is more than 100 cards. And we're going to do what we do with every other deck box on this channel. We're going to do that a few times from a different angle. It appears, as far as just tossing your deck box onto the table, these magnets are more than strong enough to uphold to what you're going to be doing to it. Now, for the one that I love to do. Landed on its side, did not pop open. Oh, there's a bag of Blu-rays back there. I'm making a Plex server. Still did not come apart. We're going to do it one more time. That one went way further. Did not come apart any of the times. We're just going to do just a... No movement. These are strong magnets. You can trust your deck in this thing. Very good durability on this. I'm not seeing any damage to the outside, to the corners either, because like I said, this is cardboard. But pretty rigid cardboard. I'm trying to squeeze it in. I'm not seeing any reason you couldn't trust your cards in this. And then obviously because of that, nice interior. No damage to the sleeves as far as I can tell. Okay, it's going to be a way quicker review since I've gotten this process down a little bit better. Just get some measurements, some weights. Can it handle some throws? I'm really trying to get this down to brass tacks because I realize my videos are kind of long. Look, style, right? This is pretty minimal, understated. I like that. That's the opposite direction some of the other companies are going. They're trying to be a little more flashy. This looks great, feels great. I'm gonna say this is shit. If any of them are all like this, I am only gonna give it, and this is just reviews are personal and I try to be objective, but cardboard is weaker than plastic and there's a little, I don't know if the mic is going to pick that up, but there's give and there's sound. And I just feel like over time, and most gamers sitting on these, like, I don't know if the mic's going to pick that up right. I just know this is less durable than the BCW Prism. Again, I'm not trying to directly compare, but it's what I have. It's my experience. Obviously, I have a lot of experience with deck boxes. It's just, I know that over time, this cardboard is going to break down faster than that plastic cube or whatever the fuck shape it is. I'm going to give the Dragon Shield a 2 out of 3. This box is a 2 out of 3. It is plenty durable for most situations. It's very light, which probably leads to the reason why it's a little more durable because it's clearly made of cardboard or some kind of card stock in there, wrapped by a very nice pleather. Stitching looks really good. The magnets are strong. I just threw this thing across the room a few times. God, it is fucking hot in here. And I'm being driven apeshit. Sorry, the door's closed and we put the heater downstairs and it's like kind of hot in here right now. So back to it. 2 out of 3. Pretty rock solid for like most people's opinion. This is a 4 out of 5. This could be better in my eyes to me. Do I have a problem buying it? No. Would I use it? Yes. Is it the best? I don't think so. But to most people and their day-to-day use for cards, 4 out of 5. This thing is fantastic. That's going to be it for this review. As you saw in this video, these are living videos. As I get more tools and ability to test things, I'm going to compare it to older products. So go ahead and keep watching these videos. There's going to be some information that comes about older products in these newer videos as we go. I'm going to update that list for the patrons. That list is going to be right there. I'm going to update that product accessory review list for the patrons. You're going to have immediate access to that. You're going to have all the information you need to make an informed decision, right? That's all there is to it. Guys, thanks for checking out this one. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what deck boxes or sleeves you'd like me to review. I've already had one suggestion from at least 1 or 2 patrons and a few Discord members as well. And I'm going to do those. There's no reason for me not to. This is kind of fun. I like getting into the nitty gritty of the details and all that. So until we find the perfect set of sleeves and deck boxes, I kind of plan on continuing doing this. Is there anything else I need to talk about? Join the Patreon, get in the Discord, talk to my community. Let's grow this thing. Deckheads, this one is zeroed.